Hey guys, this is Trickton with Trickton's Gaming, wanting to bring you guys the Magicka Nightblade build that I have. I did put out a video a few weeks ago and have gotten a lot of people asking for the build that I used. So I want to go over that and show you all of the skills, the sets, everything that I use for this build, because it is very fun to play and it is very aggravating for people that are playing against you. I have gotten a lot of hate comments for this just because of it. So first, going over this, the front bar, I am using Black Rose Restoration Staff. When you use the Black Rose Restoration Staff, the Steadfast Ward applies Major Vitality for you and for your target for 2 seconds, increasing your healing taken by 30%. So it does make it very good with using the Steadfast Ward. And on my back bar, I am using Kalron's Legacy Lightning Staff. It is important to use a lightning staff, I feel like, because if you ever have someone that is going to be reflecting the abilities back at you with like the Sword and Board skill, or used to be with the Dragon Knight wings, it does make it nice that you're not getting things reflected back at you. You're able to use a heavy attack and have that damage stick. With that, I am using Infused. You can also use Charge to get that Lee Weapon enchantment. Going on, for those of you that don't know, when you deal direct critical damage with a single target Magicka ability, you launch a Fire, Ice, Shock, or Disease Ball at your target that deals 16,932 damage. And this can occur every 10 seconds. So it is a very good proc chance. It is a very good burst damage for that. I'll show you later on why this is so powerful when paired with some of your skills. Now for the body pieces, the monster set that I am using is Zons. I like Zons due to the fact that when you do get melee enemies on you and you can create that Zon beam, it does make them back up and kind of get on the defensive, which allows you to either get on the offensive or start running away. This build does do a lot of damage when that Zon's procs. You can also pair that with an ulti and do increased damage. And I've seen that just melt people, as you can see from the video I posted. Now going on, I am using spinners on this build. If you don't want to use spinners, or if you don't want to farm that, you can use stuns. Stuns will work with that as well. For the next piece, I am using spinners. The reason I am using spinners is for the spell penetration as well as the spell damage. It does make it very nice when you are coming out of stealth to get that big burst and able to cut through the enemy's spell resistance. So I do prefer that. You can also use stuns. However, the off balance does not proc as often. So you're not able to get that burst damage right out of the gate that you'd be looking for. So that is it for the sets. I'm using Zons, Kalron's Legacy, and Spinners for that. So that is it for the sets. Going on to the skills. On the front bar, I am using the Swallow Soul, which is going to be your main spammable, and you're going to want to weave that in with your light attacks as well. I will go more into why you need to weave in light attacks later on, but Swallow Soul will be your main spammable. That'll also be a good heal for you as well, because you will be getting healed while you are doing damage. The next ability is Shadowy Disguise. This is the main bread and butter for any Nightblade. Shadowy Disguise, you cloak yourself, becoming invisible for 3 seconds. Your next direct damage attack used within 3 seconds will always be critical strike. So with that, you want to make sure that right before you attack, you do hit that Shadowy Disguise to get that extra critical strike, making it critical 100% of the time. The next ability is Impale. This is going to be your execute at a distance. So when enemies drop below 25% health, you want to make sure that you are using this in your rotation so that it'll be able to burn them down quicker. The next ability is Crippling Grasp. I do like to use this in conjunction with the Shock Reach, just because when you go out of stealth, you hit them with Shock Reach and then Crippling Grasp, and it makes them so they're not able to move as well. So it is a very good synergy with that. It also reduces their movement speed by 30% as well. So now for the last ability, besides the ultimate, we are using Shock Reach like I was talking about earlier, and then deals an additional 5,890 shock over 10 seconds. I don't really prefer to use damage over time abilities on Nightblades, just because you can if you'd like to, but you get more burst damage from Nightblades. If you wanted to use damage over time, I would tell you to look at maybe using a Dragon Knight or something of that nature. Going on to the ultimate, I am using Soul Assault, which when paired with your Zons is insane amounts of damage. I believe it does do up to, last time I checked, is around 70,000 damage for both the Soul Assault and the Zons at the same time. So I do really like this one. I prefer to use this one because it all is used from range as well. This is kind of a more distance damage DPS, so it does make it a lot nicer for that, being at range. Now for the back bar, for the first ability, I'm using Manifestation of Terror. This is a really nice set it and forget it type ability. You can put this in the way of your target or maybe around a corner or something. So if you are being chased, or if you are being, if you want to be more offensive, you can place this strategically and kind of catch your enemies off guard. I will post a video of this after this, where I did use fear in the way of where the enemy would be escaping, and it did work exactly how I planned it to, and it just made it feel so good. It was just like, yes. So going on to the next ability is Steadfast Ward. This is in conjunction with the Black Rose Restoration Staff. You protect your lowest health ally around you with a damage shield that absorbs 4,951 damage, and the shield is increased by up to 100%. Now, when paired with the Black Rose Restoration Staff, you are getting increased healing as well. So it does make it very nice with that, and that's why I do recommend using the Black Rose Restoration. For the next ability, and one of the buffs that you want to keep up pretty much all the time, is Merciless Resolve. So for those of you that don't know, when you do 5 light or heavy attacks with this active, it does convert into the Assassin's Will, allowing you to fire a spectral arrow at half the cost that deals 13,772 magic damage and heals you for 50% of the damage dealt. So with that, I've seen this just do crazy amounts of damage. I do use it as an execute at times as well, if someone is running away. If you guys do follow my stream on Twitch, there has been several times I'll have enemies running away, and I'll use this and just totally just knock them over. It is very nice. All right, and for the next ability, I'm using Siphoning Attacks. Siphoning Attacks, along with Merciless Resolve, is pretty much bread and butter for all Nightblades. So you imbue your weapons with soul-stealing power, causing your light and heavy attacks to heal you. So it does make it a nice heal, and that's why you want to weave in your light attacks in between your Soul Swallows, because it will be healing you on top of your Soul Swallow, and you will be increasing your damage that you are outputting as well. And when the effect ends, you get a burst of Magicka as well, so that does make it very nice for sustain purposes as well. The last normal ability on our back bar is Shadow Image. This ability is very useful for kiting or getting out of the way of enemies. What I do is sometimes I will put the shade down around a corner. Let me demonstrate that for you. So I will put the shade down and then I will go and get into combat, starting attacking my enemy. When the enemy jumps on top of me, I will port back to my shade, giving me that space that I want as well. Another thing that you can do is if you're ever trying to escape from someone, what you can do is put it out of the line of sight, or with them following you. If they continue to follow you, you can jump back to your shade and go the other direction. That'll help to kind of kite them and get away if you need to. Or if you'd like, you can put it around a corner, and then if they stay at your shade, then you can continue to keep running. So it does make it very useful and very nice to use your shade. And when you get good at it, it makes it very hard to kill you. I've seen really good Nightblades that use shadow image to completely confuse groups of people. I've seen groups of like whole Zergs of 20 players or more following one Nightblade, and he's able to just confuse them and get away super easily. So definitely is a good skill to have on your bar as well. For the ultimate on the back bar, I am using Lights Champion. This is one I prefer to use Lights Champion because what you can do is if you are being focused, you can hit this and it doesn't consume you with a channel or anything, so you're able to still heal yourself or try and get away while you're being healed as well. So it makes it very nice to just pop that, and you can continue to attack them or get on the defensive. So I do use that on the back bar. You can use other abilities if you'd like, but Lights Champion was definitely the best when making this build. Now on to the champion points. Once again, champion points should never make or break any build. They should just enhance it. So with all of these champion points, make sure you are placing them which feels right for you. If you need any tips on where to place your champion points, feel free to pause this video and place them in. All right. And that is it for the build. As far as food or anything, it really doesn't matter. I prefer to have tri-stat with Crown Fortifying, or maybe doing a Witch Mother's Potent Brew for the max health and max Magicka with the recovery. So it's really up to you, whatever feels best for you. Having that extra stamina to break free is definitely nice. As you can see, I'm sitting only at 11.4. So if you were to roll dodge, twice, you're pretty much, at that point, you're pretty much out of stamina. So you want to make sure that you're being wise with your stamina, that you're not, breaking unnecessary stuns or, roll dodging when it's not needed, because it will affect you. If you need more stamina, feel free to put stamina on your armor pieces or on your rings. That will help as well. So if you've liked this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to stay up to date on the latest Elder Scrolls information, please feel free to subscribe or smash that subscribe button. It will help me to put out more content and know what you guys do and do not like. Also, if you have any questions, please feel free to put those down below. I would love to answer those for you. I will answer all of the comments that are placed. And until next time, peace.